guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. Now you may see I've got new hair. After 3 years of having my blonde balayage, I decided to go for a much wintry brunette feel. I'm just feeling it, so who knows how long it will last for. I keep changing my mind with my hair, but I'm just experimenting and I like a change, and I feel that with a new year, with a new decade, new hair is needed, guys, after 3 years. So yeah, so you're probably gonna see a lot of transitioning content from me where I've pre-filmed so much for January and then I'm gonna have blonde hair and now I have brunette hair, so just bear with. So today is my last video of 2019, and I obviously want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being here, for subscribing, for watching and for commenting on all of my work, but especially here on YouTube. It means so much to me to have you here, to see so many of you regularly, and also have you in my Law of Attraction support group as well, and to obviously interact with you on other platforms like Instagram and stuff. So thank you so much for your love and support this year. It means the absolute world to me, and I cannot wait for another year, a new decade full of positivity and law of attraction. And next year and the new decade is such an interesting energy. It's going to be a completely different energy to what we have experienced, so it's going to be exciting. So if you've missed my last two videos, please make sure to go and watch them because they are super important. I've got one on how to wrap up 2019 and obviously, you know, make sure that you found closure and you're not taking any baggage into a new year, a new decade, because you don't want that, queen. And then the second video is all about how to successfully manifest in 2020 and how to set yourself up for success. So again, another great goal setting video and a great way to plan for the year ahead as well. And also, if you didn't know, I have a free 7-day manifesting challenge starting on the 1st of January. There's a link down below to sign up and join us. I am super excited. We've got nearly 800 of you signed up already, which is amazing. And I filmed this obviously the mid-December, so there could be even more by the time this video actually comes out. But I'm so excited to help all of you. Once again, I did this last year and it was amazing success, and so many of you had amazing stories to share. And all of this is designed to help you kickstart your manifesting in 2020. So to start the year off right and how to successfully manifest, not just in the first week of January, but successfully throughout the year. So you'll have daily challenges sent straight to your inbox for you to complete, which is going to help you to start manifesting and start the year off with a great manifesting bang. So make sure to head on over to my website. It's under free content, or there's a link down below for you to go there directly. So today's video is about how to choose happiness, or why you should be choosing happiness. And this is an interesting topic that I've had quite a few discussions with clients, friends recently about, and I'm like, this is so prominent, especially around the new year, especially around a new decade as well, of choosing happiness. Now, I think we can all sit there and say, Emma, I choose happiness. What you on about? We all choose happiness. When actually, do we really choose happiness? And I know that I can even say in my life that I've thought I've chosen happiness. I thought that what I was doing was happiness, but then like I look at all areas of my life and I'm like, everything is flowing, everything feels good, everything's like, you know, abundant and good and happy, yet there's like a few aspects which aren't. And then you think, okay, maybe I just work through these, etc, etc. And it's like learning when you need to work through something and shift something, or when something's not actually serving your highest good or not serving you happiness. So one of my mantras definitely for 2020 is to continue to choose happiness and to continue to choose what's for my highest good and not tolerate any more bull. And it can be hard to do this. And I think it's such an interesting topic because I think we all want happiness more than anything. We all want to choose happiness, but do we? Do we really choose happiness in all aspects of our lives? So what I really want to challenge you first of all to think about is look at every aspect of your life: career, home, relationships, friendships, you know, yourself, relationship, self-love, monetary. I'm trying to think of other topics you could think about. You get my drift here. Look at all aspects of your life and rate it out of 10 if that feels good. 1 being not happy, 10 being extremely happy. How much happiness do you feel in those areas of your life? And reflect upon that, because this is a great time for reflection, a great time as we're approaching the new year to reflect upon what's worked well this year. This is why my previous 2 videos are so important to watch, because there's so many good tools and practices in there to reflect and clear in order to manifest for the new year. So be honest with yourself. what is bringing you happiness in your life? And this is a major theme of my new book, which is coming out in June. Super excited, should be able to share more with you soon, and covers and amazing stuff like that. But this has been my journey this year, massively. This is how my Positively Wealthy journey began, was by looking at my life and saying, are you actually happy? Like, you've manifested all of this stuff, you've achieved everything you've wanted to hit on your careers list and, like, you know, business list, your like work achievements and goals. You've sold your business. I ticked everything off my manifestation list and my vision board, and I was like, how does that feel? And I was like, feels good. I'm grateful. I love these things. Like, they, you know, all those aspects of my life are great, but actually I've totally been neglecting that other part of my life where it doesn't feel happy. So look at your life and say, do I feel happy in all areas of my life? And it's okay to admit that maybe you're not, because that's where transformation can happen. In the darkness, you can switch the light on. So this is the perfect time in this reflective period between Christmas and New Year, and moving into a new decade as well, to really get honest with yourself. And I really had to get honest with myself here and think, right, you're going into a new year and a new decade. Do you really want to invite like that unhappiness into that new year and new decade? And I was like, hell no. And I thought, this time next year, do you really want to be sat there in that same position? You've tried everything, you've like manifested, you have done everything in the book. And I was like, right, to me that is a clear sign of let it go. So I had to like let that aspect of my life go and just really think, right, if I want change, if I want happiness, I have to choose happiness. And although I know that's gonna happen, I know that's like, and I looked at so many instances in my life, like how I manifested my house, how I manifested my book deal, and I was like, look at what happened there. You chose your happiness. You've tried to force yourself to get those houses. You forced yourself to get that book deal, and the door's shut. You didn't get it because it wasn't meant to be. So as soon as I sat in that place and thought, right, I've got no options, I've done everything, I'm gonna have to let this go, I'm gonna have to surrender, I'm gonna have to say, right, my happiness comes first here, and I let those things go, the very next day they manifested, which is crazy. Like, that's how quick the universe can turn things around with surrendering and letting go. So I had to think, you know, truthfully in myself, of looking at these areas that didn't feel happy to me and say, right, how can I let this go? How can I surrender this? I know it's gonna happen, and that's okay. I'm holding that vision, holding that faith, holding that trust. But equally, is that serving my highest good? And it got to a point where I was like, my happiness was more important to me than staying stuck or trying, or like not forcing, but trying to just get through and just wait and see what happened. So I was like, right, this is not good. Like, happiness comes before anything. And as soon as I chose my happiness, as soon as I was like, I'm just gonna let it go, I have faith that this manifestation will come to me, I'm just gonna let it go and choose my happiness and like choose my peace and focus on all the great things in my life, of course, shifts started to happen, of course. So this is what I really want to express to you guys today, is that happiness is key. And, you know, I said this to my friend the other day of like, what's more important to you in life? This thing that's like draining you and not really making you happy, or your happiness? And she said happiness, and I said, there we go, there's your answer. Like, it's not saying that you have to fully walk away from that thing, or that, you know, like it will never happen and that, you know, you should just give up. That's not what I'm saying here. If you are not feeling happy towards your manifestations or any area of your life, you know, you don't just give up. If you're not feeling happy with money, you don't just say, I don't need money, I give up. You change your attitude, you change your choice, and you keep choosing happiness no matter what. And I keep being reminded of this myself, and it's something which I definitely do in so many areas of my life. If I know that something is meant for me, and if I have that strong intuition, and if I have that determination, I'm that person who keeps going. Like, I'm in the masculine energy where I'm like, right, keep going, let's make this happen. Where actually what's required from me is actually, yes, to take my inspired action, but equally to stop, let go, surrender, and choose happiness. And most of the time when I've done that, well, all of the time when I've done that, shifts happen, manifestations happen. So it's really about saying, you know, you don't give up on the thing because you trust that it's going to happen. You have that faith and you have that belief, but it's saying, okay, it's not happening right now. And that's okay. I'm happy with where I am. I'm going to choose to focus on and have gratitude for all the wonderful, happy things that are happening in my life at the moment. So when you turn your focus to your gratitude, when you turn your focus to what is working well and what brings you joy, you create that joy energy. Like as soon as you let something go, like the weight comes off your shoulders, you relax. And when you're focusing on happy things, which are fun and feel good and bring you happiness, you're going to feel happiness, and that happiness vibration is going to reflect in all areas of your life. So really this is about choosing where you direct your happiness and saying, okay, if something is not serving me, if something feels draining, if something doesn't feel good to me and I don't want this, like I deserve better, then you have to choose that. You have to choose that no matter what. And that's scary. Like, oh my God, scary. Scary as hell. Like, this is where the ego and the fear comes up of like, oh, whoa, you don't want to do that. Like, why would you let go? Why would you surrender? Why would you give up? And I've spoken about giving up before. And what I mean by giving up is not literally like, say for instance, you want to manifest a house like I was. You know, I didn't give up and say, I'm obviously never gonna have a house. I said, I'm obviously just meant to stay in this flat right now, and that's okay. One day I know this house is going to come to me. I don't know how, I don't know when, whether I'll rent, whether I'll buy, who knows? It could take a year, it could take 5 years. But I was like, I know this house will come to me at the right time, and I'm just gonna settle in the happiness that I have in this flat and turn my resentment for that flat into comfort, you know, into, well, when I mean by comfort, I mean like, you know, appreciating the comfort of my flat, the security of my flat, and feeling happy and feeling grateful to be in that flat, and, you know, to have the money to be able to afford to live in a flat as well. And when I changed that mindset, that's when it shifted. So when I say give up, it's not giving up on your happiness, definitely not. It's choosing your happiness. And it's not saying that it's never going to happen. It's just saying, okay, it's not happening right now. That's okay. I'm going to look at what I have right now. I'm going to focus on all the good things I have in my life right now. And I'm going to trust that at some point, somehow, somewhen, it's going to come together in the perfect way possible. Maybe even better than what I imagined. So this is why choosing your happiness is important, because a lot of the time what I see, whether it's life coaching clients, comments, or even friends, or even myself, what I've seen is we stay in our comfort zone. We stay in those situations, or we stay with those thoughts or patterns, or not taking inspired action because it's comfortable, because we're like, well, we're doing our best, we're doing the work, we're showing up, we just have to wait for this, we just have to wait for this manifestation, we just have to wait for this shift, we have to wait for this miracle. And you know, sometimes absolutely there is just a divine timing aspect to it where you do wait, but you have to question whether your happiness is there. If you are happily in that place and you feel happiness in all areas of your life, I would say, yeah, you're probably having too much fun in your life to even concern yourself with that you're waiting. Whereas when you can detect that unhappiness, you're tolerating something that you're not standing for. You're tolerating something that you don't want, but you're tolerating it. We've all done it. I do it. Oh my God, I still do it. And I've had to really, like, you know, kick my ass into gear and say, oh, you want that result? You have to stop tolerating anything less than what you know you deserve. So have a look at your worth here. Do you feel that you are worthy of that happiness? Do you feel that you are worthy of having that happy outcome, that manifestation, or whatever it may be that you are trying to create here? Do you feel worthy of it? Because a lot of the time that can come down to your happiness as well. Because if we're not choosing our happiness at all times, there's something there to be looked at. There's something there to challenge and say, okay, if something is not making me happy, and you know, disclaimer here, we're not going to be happy in all areas of our life all of the time. You know, ebb and flow, divine masculine, divine feminine, yin and yang, polarities. We live in a world of polarities and seasons and change. So we're not always going to be in our summer. We're not always going to be in that happy, my life, fantastic stage. But you have to look at it over a consistent amount of time of, okay, have I just been happy for a few weeks? If you've been unhappy with something for a few weeks, that's very different. I would say keep going, keep shifting, and keep choosing your happiness, but equally keeping an eye on it. If you're here and it's been months or even years, then this is where you are not choosing your happiness. There needs to be an action, there needs to be a shift, there needs to be a you shifting the situation, which is action. And action is choosing your happiness no matter what. So are you clinging onto it too tightly? Are you, just hoping and hoping and hoping and being shot down and shot down and shot down each time? Look at it that way of, have you done everything in your capability? If you have, choose your happiness, because when you choose your happiness, the whole world changes. And I've done this in every aspect of my life, is chosen happiness this year, last year, year before. And this is how I've got to this stage where I have manifested that dream life, because I've chosen my happiness no matter what. I haven't been sat there. I mean, I've had to kick myself up the arse, like I have said. I haven't just sat there and been like, okay, some bits of my life are happy, that's okay, I'm just gonna stop here. It's like, no, if you want happiness and fulfillment in all areas of your life, you have to choose that. So stop tolerating things that you don't want. Stop tolerating things that don't feel good to you, because when you are tolerating that, you're saying to the universe, give me some more of this, please. I'm okay with this. You may be saying, Emma, of course I'm not saying that. I'm telling the universe that I want things to shift. I want things to change. I'm, welcoming in miracles. I'm welcoming in that manifestation. But look at your energy. The universe reads your energy, not your words. Your words do obviously count, and that's energy in itself. But the universe reads your energy. So if you are accepting things that are not what you want, or you're accepting maybe even behavior that isn't what you want or what you're trying to manifest, then you have to think that the universe is saying, okay, she's okay with this. What's she gonna do here? And that's where your action comes in, of choosing your happiness, of saying, what is more important to me here? Staying in this place where it doesn't feel great, or choosing my happiness? And that's your leap of faith. That's your leap of faith, where you take that leap to trust, and you take that leap to choose your happiness, knowing that you are fully supported by the universe. And from having done this so many times over the last 4 years of my life, and even longer, but consciously with the law of attraction through the last 4 years, I've never been let down. I've never been like, oh, what was that for? Or, oh, that didn't work out. I've always taken a leap of choosing happiness and choosing what's for my highest good, and not being disappointed because there's been a reason why, or there's been, the miracle or the manifestation, whatever the outcome happens once you choose that happiness. So my main message to you today is, don't let another year and another decade go by where you're not choosing your happiness. Now, this could be something big in your life, or even something small in your life, but equally to everybody it's going to feel exactly the same. There could be an area of your life where you're not feeling completely fulfilled and happy in. So this is a time to choose you, choose your happiness, and say, I'm going to choose my happiness no matter what. And when you do that, that's a powerful intention. That is a powerful signal to the universe. And you probably will then have scenarios come up where you're tested on that, where you are like, okay, right, now I have to actually action this, now I actually have to take action. And that's where you can implement this, where you know in your soul, and you have to be ready to do this equally as well. I've seen this with people. You have to be ready to choose that happiness, because until you are, you're just gonna keep doing the same thing. And I've seen it on a whole array of people who are very spiritually awakened, or completely muggles, as we call them, who aren't awakened. So until you are ready to choose that happiness, you won't. And that's why you have to be all in, because when you're all in, then you know that that's the right decision. And when those tests come up, or opportunities come up to where you're you have to choose your happiness, you're strong enough to say, I'm choosing my happiness. But it starts with a decision. It starts with a decision, and action is what implements that. So when those opportunities do come up, you have to be like, right, is this serving my highest good? Is this contributing to my happiness? If it's a no, if it's a hell no, then say no. Walk away and say, thank you, next universe. And that's what I say thank you, next universe, of I know what I want, I know what I'm choosing, and my decisions reflect that choice. And then you'll keep seeing over time those shifts, that momentum, that manifestation happening, because you're choosing the version of yourself who has that manifestation, who has that reality. So think about it like that. It's acting as if, essentially. Think about the version of yourself that has that manifestation or has that reality. Are they the person that tolerates this now, or are they the person that chooses happiness regardless? And I can guarantee you're going to say, it's the version of myself that's choosing happiness. Like it always is. That's always the answer. So choose happiness. This is such a crucial time to choose happiness. Like next year, 2020, is a karmic number year. It's the year of love, unity, balance. It's a very good energy. So you want to make sure that you are choosing your happiness to welcome in that abundance in 2020. Create that space. Let go of anything that's no longer serving you, because if it's draining you, that's not contributing to your happiness. If it's draining you, that's not living a life of fulfillment. That's not living a life of choosing happiness. And like I said, it's important here to look at time frames of, is this just a short-term thing that's happened recently? Because if it has, then it could be temporary. It could be a case of, yes, choose your happiness, but maybe not on a scale of what I'm saying. It could be that things need to shift in a different way, but equally still choose your happiness. But if it has been months or years where you are stuck in a situation or stuck in a place or an area of your life hasn't felt happiness, this is your time to choose it. Like, you deserve to choose happiness. You deserve, and you are so worthy of choosing happiness. So choose happiness, because we say we choose happiness, but we have to consciously choose happiness with not just our words, not just our intention, but with our actions too. So when you're making decisions, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Choose your happiness. Like, have that mantra of, you know, happiness being your mantra for 2020. Have that mantra with you of, every decision, every situation you find yourself in, does this contribute to my happiness? Does this contribute to the happy vision I have for my life? Or like, what do I need to do to get to that point? That version of me that has that reality, is she choosing her happiness? She is. So you have to choose it. You have to set that intention and walk your talk. Choose happiness, because happiness is what we all strive for as humans. Happiness is what we all want in our lives. You have to be brave enough to make that choice, and you have to be brave enough to take that leap and say, this is what I want, nothing less. Because if you've set those intentions for whatever it may be in your life, whether it's love, friendships, career, money, whatever it is, you have to choose the reality that exists in, which means choosing your happiness, not choosing situations, people, or things like that which don't contribute to that higher vision of happiness. So choose wisely, and remember that choosing happiness is a conscious choice you have to keep choosing, because we can fall into that trap so easily of thinking we're choosing happiness, going along the path, and then being like, I'm not happy. Like, so you have to, you have to consciously remind yourself to do that. So make that your mantra, make that your mission every single month of 2020 and forward, moving forward, of choosing happiness and asking yourself, what areas of my life do not feel happy, and what can I shift and change and even potentially let go of that no longer serving my highest good? Because when you let it go, you invite that happiness in, and what is meant to be in your life will always be, and what's not meant to will always fall away. So it's better that you make that decision, because that's going to get you to where you want to be so much quicker. So thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. I hope this video has been really, really helpful for you, and please, please, please let me know your thoughts in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. I hope you have a fantastic new year, whatever you are up to. Don't forget to join my free manifesting challenge. It starts on the 1st of January. Like I said, the link is down below to join us. It's absolutely free, so why not kickstart your manifesting off in the best way possible. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a great week, a happy new year, and I'll see you all in 2020. Lots of love.